Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Nxt 2.0. I am Gene Okerlund, here with Trini Kwan and with Wade Barrett. Quit being crooked. And today on NXT 2.1 2.0, we're going to see the TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings on the line. Gene Okerlund said, "Yes, we are," Trini Kwan said. And that's going to be Charlotte Flair, who is the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, on top of being WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight winner, even though she's been traded back to SmackDown again. How are they going to do that? I don't know, Wade Barrett said. I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to make Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair's going to have to get the WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight winnings, and Becky Lynch is going to have to get the WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight winnings. I don't know, Wade Barrett said, but I do know that Charlotte Flair is the TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter, so at the end of the day, I don't truly know what's happening there. So, now it looks like that I, the Queen, has to deal with wrestling on a show called NXT 2.0. What it stands for, I don't fucking know. See, there was a time where the TWF women's offshoot, whatever you want to call it, was a big thing, and now it's not done all the time. And why is that? I don't know. Then I'm being told that I have to fight Amela Pappy. Who the hell is Amela Pappy? What? Former TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter, former World Women's Heavyweight fighter, the stand-in for Rhea Ripley before Rhea Ripley came to TWF. So, you're gonna say shit about me, Charlotte Flair? At least I can stand without having to have a stand. And two, yeah, I may have been a former TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter. I may have been a former World Women's Heavyweight fighter. But no way was I a stead holder for Rhea Ripley. You can knock that thought off right now. And I'll tell you right now that I am going to become the TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter. I'll win the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings, and that will be that. You think you're the shit, Charlotte Flair. Oh, I beat Gil Kim. Oh, I beat AJ Lee. Oh, yeah, great for you if you did that. Hold it, Gil Kim says. I don't want to get in between of this fight between you two. But the only one that can make a fight or a match is me. And as the force setter of skill dealings and the head follower and also the head of TWF Women's offshoot, I say today here on NXT 2.0, we're going to see Amela Pappy fight Charlotte Flair for the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. You can't do that, Gil Kim. You think I want to fight her? I should have more on look than that. I should fight greater folks than that. I should fight greater folks than that. But oh no, you want me to be wrestling Amela Pappy. Well, I tell you what, once I beat Mel Pappy, like I beat you, Gil Kim, like I beat AJ Lee, you'll all learn to on-look me. You'll all learn to worship me. Well, good for you, Den, if you think that way, Charlotte Flair. great for you. Yeah, former 6-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight Fighter, 5-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Fighter, 2-time WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Great for you, Charlotte Flair. Oh, 1-time WWE Women's Team Fighter. But that's the WWE, this is the TWF, and you're fighting a Melipappy. So go bitch all you want. Well, you heard it from Gil Kim. The fight's on, and if Charlotte Flair doesn't like it, that's too bad, Gene Okerlund said. Sometimes in life is not fair, and sometimes we have to do things that we don't like to do. Gene Okerlund said, well, you're right about that one, Trini Kwan said. Charlotte Flair seems to think that since her lord name or her kin name is Flair, she seems to think that there should be a double standard for her, Trini Kwan said. Yeah, well, she is the queen. She is her kin name or her lord name or her kin name is Flair. So there needs to be a double standard for her, Wade Barrett said. Well, this is for the TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings. First, she is a Melipappy, and she is a TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Charlotte Flair. Well, Gene Okerlund said, a Melipappy is a former TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She beat Asuka earlier this year. She's also a former Women's World Heavyweight, the former World Women's Heavyweight Fighter too. And then her body slam, Gene Okerlund says. Yeah, Trini Kwan said, you can say what you want to say, but a Melipappy is no stead holder for Rhea Ripley. Well, she did lose to Rhea Ripley when Rhea Ripley came here. So I call her a stead holder for that. And Wade Barrett said, oh! And Charlotte Flair seems to think that she's greater than any other women wrestler come before her. Gene Okerlund said, give me a break. Yes, she truly believes that, Trini Kwan said. She believes that she's the greatest woman wrestler or fighter, whatever you want to call it, in the world. And no one else is greater than her. Yeah, well, kick in the face, a natural slush. Yeah. Well, keep in mind here, she is a 6-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She is a 5-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She's a 2-time WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And a 1-time WWE Raw Team, 1-time WWE Women Team Fighter. Oh, Wade Barrett said, and when you won many winnings that she's won between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, you do have the right to say you're greater than others, Wade Barrett says. Well, she wanted to try to put the figure 8 on a Melipappy, but that didn't work, Gene Okerlund says. Melipappy right now, picking up Charlotte Flair and a body slam. It's true that this Charlotte Flair came from Ole's, and her first offshoot came from Big Lots. Yeah, and Melipappy came from, 5 and below, Gene Okerlund said. Yeah, it is true, Trini Kwan said. It is true Charlotte Flair's first and 2-4 doll came from Big Lots and then from Ole's. Trini Kwan said true Melipappy came from 5 and below. But that makes her good. And then her body slam. But who cares what shop they came from? It's their skill and craft, Trini Kwan said. And I think Melipappy is going to become the new TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. You believe whatever you want to believe, Wade Barrett said. But no way is that going to happen. Melipappy with a takedown. No way is that going to happen, Wade Barrett said. Oh, now come on. There's a seat in the ring, and Charlotte Flair got the seat and hit, Melipappy with it. Ding, 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 ding. Well, that means a fight's been thrown out, but, Melipappy hit her with the seat and knocked her out of the ring. So what's this, Wade Barrett says. We now offshooting between the The Bianca Belair Charlotte Flair hang up? Wade Barrett says. I guess so. Well, the winner of this fight of a throw out, Mela Pappy. But since the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings cannot shift hands on a throw out or a track out, still TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter Charlotte Flair. Well, that is the oversight, Gene Okerlund said. Charlotte Flair chose to throw the fight out because I believe she couldn't beat Mela Pappy. She got frightened, and then she thought, well, she can't win, and she'll keep her winnings by getting a fight thrown out. That's what I believe, Gene Okerlund said. Hey, that's what I believe too, Trini Kwan said. I have no truth to back that up, but I did see it happen in the ring, so I think that Charlotte Flair got frightened that she might not beat Mela Pappy, so she wanted to have the fight thrown out instead. Now Mela Pappy is still in the ring. Trini Kwan said, yes, she is, Gene Okerlund said. She's mad. She's angry. She could be irked, mad, angry, and rest all she wants, Wade Barrett said. But Charlotte Flair is still the TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter, and that's all good enough for me. So, let me get this straight, Mela Pappy says. Charlotte Flair likes to talk about how she's this great woman, this great wrestler, this great fighter, and about how, oh, she's the time. And she likes to give out seeks to everyone. But we know how she behaves when things don't go her way. She likes to bitch and scave and shame and besmirch others. Then thinks she has a double standard. Oh, I am a 5-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight fighter. I'm a 6-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight fighter. Oh, I'm a 2-time WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight fighter. Oh, I'm a 1-time WWE Women's Team fighter. But at the end of the day, who really cares? She besmirches her name. She besmirches herself. She shames herself by what she does. And I don't care the standard of her father, or the standard of her half-brother David Flair, or the standard of Reed, her brother Reed Flair, who's no longer with us. God bless his soul. But when it comes to Charlotte Flair and her standard, I don't really think she has a standard. Well, I know that Jim Ross now is going to be talking with Charlotte Flair now and hear anything Charlotte Flair had to say about the stuff that Mela Pappy said about Charlotte Flair. Well, I'm talking with Charlotte Flair here, Gene Okerlund, and Jim Ross, first off, the fucking cowboy hat, you need to be done with that. You've been wearing that thing since between 96 YL. 2, I heard all the things that Mela Pappy said about me, and I'm here to tell you right now, Jim Ross, I don't care. You know that old saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me? Well, your hat doesn't even fit your head that well. Well, the truth is, that's true. See, words can only harm you if you let them harm you. But if you choose not to let words harm you, Jim Ross, then they won't harm you. Well, that might be true, but Mela Pappy did scathe you for your behavior. She did say that you have no standards. She said that your father, Rick, your half-brother, David, and your brother, Reed, had standards, but you never did. Oh, is that right, huh? My father had standards when he was in the ring. Say what you want to say about him, but he had standards. My half-brother, David Flair, never had no standards. My half-brother, David, he never had no standards. So you could see why he didn't work out so well in WCW and WWF and TNAW. And now my brother Reed, who's no longer with us, He was a good beginner wrestler. He had some standards. I have standards. So if she's going to say that I'm the only one in the Flair kin who wrestles that had no standards, well, that's her foughten belief of me. But I do got standards. And I live up to all those standards every day. The standards that my father, my half-brother David really didn't have, that he should have had. My standards that my brother Reed had. And if my younger sister Megan would have had the standards, she would have been in wrestling too, but she chose not to. But anyway, Mellow Pappy, I'm still the queen. I'm still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And at the end of the day, you can shame me, you can scathe me. Hell, you can besmirch my name if you want. I don't care. Woo! Woo! Well, actually, I truly believe one should care if they get their name besmirched, but what do I know? Back to you, Gene Okerlund. Thank you, Jim Ross, for talking with Charlotte Flair here on NXT 2.0. And it looks like it is all the time we got here for NXT 2.0. I am Gene Okerlund for Trini Kwan and Wade Barrett. We hope you like NXT 2.0, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite, or Strength, or Might.